I'm Genevieve Taylor and this is Bristol Fire School. So welcome to one of my all-time favourite barbecue techniques. All the smoke, all the tenderness and zero worries about dry meat. This is smoke plus braise. So we use smoke for flavour and then braising to guarantee tenderness. And it really is the best of both worlds, especially for tough economical cuts like this beef chuck. So a small fire, not too much charcoal. We're going to be topping it up during the cook, and a couple of lumps of smoking wood. I'm using cherry today, but lumps is what you need. This is the magic bit. So just a casserole dish there with some stock. And again, this may need topping up as well as the charcoal. Oil bars on. So that's our fire set up. I'm just going to let that stabilise for a minute, shutting my air vents down. So I want that magic smoking temperature of about 120 to 140 Celsius. So the way to achieve that is to get your air vents pretty low, top and bottom, and that will just stabilise out. This is the cut I'm cooking. This is beef chuck. Comes from the shoulder of the cow, and it's just been sitting overnight in my fridge in a mixture of salt, pepper and crushed fennel seeds. I love fennel seeds. The salt's going to have done its dry brining magic. I refer you back to my dry brining film in the food science series because dry brining is really magic. So tough cuts like chuck or shin are absolutely perfect for this technique. You won't get this kind of flavour and texture with those lean, more expensive cuts. So this is the time to bring out the economical cuts and take your time. So the beef over the stock, and that stock is doing a couple of jobs there. It's creating some steam, which is going to help the smoke stick to the meat, and it's also going to become our braising liquid. I will need to top up the level of it probably throughout the cook, so every time I check that charcoal level, I will also check the stock. Now we just shut the lid, and that is it. That is it. It's just going to hang out at this temperature for probably 4 hours. I'll check it every hour. So it's chucking it down again in Bristol, but that's kind of okay for these slow cooks because literally I do nothing now. I go inside, I make a cup of tea and I sit down and I wait. The beef has been in for 4 hours exactly now, and my barbecue is hovering on 135, rock solid. All I've done is add a lump or two of charcoal every hour or so, nothing more, nothing less. Sure up, bird. So if I now go in there with this infrared probe, you don't need to get one of these, by the way, it's just a really useful teaching tool to show you. But if I use it on the surface of this meat, I can see very quickly we have 62 Celsius, 64, 61. Basically, that meat is not absorbing any more smoke now because you've got this crust over the outside. Now it's time for the braising stage. That's where the magic is going to happen. So look at that beautiful kind of bark, that crust on the outside. This meat has sucked up so much delicious smoke. So it's a question of dissecting our grill and whipping out that stock. So you can see that's actually evaporated quite a lot, but it's full of flavour. So I'm going to add some more water to that. The bar's back on. Get that lid shut to preserve the fuel and keep all that nice heat in. Okay, so for this braising stage, I want to cut this meat into some smaller chunks. So if you have a look inside this piece of chuck, you've got this beautiful kind of dark, deep, crunchy crust on the outside. And the inside is still kind of rare with these seams of sort of fat and collagen and so on. Chuck, beef shoulder, is not a cut you want to be eating rare. That will be super, super chewy. So it's no way near done yet. So I'm just gonna cut it into some smaller pieces, drop it into my pot, and get that juice in. Don't be wanting to waste that. So our level of liquid is a little bit low in there. I'm just going to top it up from the kettle. You want the liquid to kind of come about halfway over the meat. It doesn't want to be drowning, but about halfway. Then, sheet of baking paper, pressing that onto the surface. Then a lid. The baking paper is just a bit of a belt and braces to stop too much evaporation. Right, back on the grill, same place. Small fire. If you've only got a roasting tin, no stress. Do the baking paper and then foil it really snugly. Then we shut the lid. At this stage, because the beef is protected in the stock in that pot, you can afford to let the temperature raise a little, maybe 150, maybe 160. And the way we do that is just literally give it a little bit more oxygen. So more oxygen is a hotter burning fire. At this point, I anticipate it's going to be about another 4 hours in that braising liquor, during which time I need to do practically nothing but keep an eye on the temperature dial and add a lump or two of fuel if it's dropping. But I don't need to check the level of stock. It's covered, it's not going to be evaporating. We've had 2 hours now in the braise and it's getting there, definitely getting there, but not quite done yet. So I'm just rotating it through the stock, turning each piece over. And we keep cooking. This is the moment. We have been cooking for 8 hours, during which time I have actually done very little, to be fair. Oh yeah, can you see? That is absolutely delicious. So yeah, I think we're tender. I think we're cooked. I think we are cooked. Right, the best way to deal with this now is shred it with your hands, which is a roll your sleeves up moment and get some gloves on. Actually, a little bit of a rest at this point is not such a bad idea because it will let that meat relax just a tiny bit further, and also you won't completely burn your hands. But I'm just going to get straight in there and I'm going to shred it into this liquor because that is all really good gear, you know. I don't want to waste all of that flavour. So literally just pulling this meat apart with my hands. Oh my goodness, it smells so good. And if I get to any bits where it hasn't quite, like there's some connective tissue and a bit of like extra fat there, just put that to one side. My dogs will be exceedingly grateful for that. So that was 2 kilos of chuck. It's made a very generous portion there. And this sort of smoked meat like this pullable smoked meat, freezes brilliantly. So always make more than you think you need. It will live in your freezer quite happily and make you very happy on another day. Smoke plus braise is a brilliant hybrid barbecue technique. You just cannot go wrong. Yes, it was a long cook, 8 hours. I did practically nothing in that time. So just to recap, the smoke, that adds layers of beautiful barbecued flavour. The braise guarantees tenderness, guarantees it. There's no way you can lose with the braising step. The stock adds extra juiciness, you know. It's a brilliant way to make cheap, economical, tough cuts shine. And this is exactly the same technique I would use for other shoulders. So pork, for example, pulled pork. We've done pulled beef here, basically. So smoke plus braise, steady, regular heat, not too high, so you go slowly to get maximum smoke in when you're doing the smoking phase. Once it's in the liquid, you can allow your barbecue to climb a little higher because it's protected by the liquid. Or indeed, if you've run out of enthusiasm for being outside, that's when you go and shove it in your oven. So yeah, smoke plus braise, I absolutely love this technique. I think it's my number one.